Oh, I'm white this time. All right.
Okay, I have tweeted live stream. All right.
Fortunately, this is a game where stream sniping doesn't really help.
Understandably so.
Although I am thinking I need to move my camera as it seems to be blocking an element of the interface. Oh, bringing a rook out, are we?
I know. I
That's
completely forgot I had to hit submit. I'm sorry.
that's okay. I thought you were deeply considering the move. Hmm. It begins.
I was really hoping you do the first move there.
What's up, Tice? Yeah, we do have a lot of rock people in the Stellaris game. That's true. It's a lot to think about with even just 2 timelines, but the fact that you have the option to create more just explodes the possibilities.
Sorry that took a while. Max is at the department store and called me.
Oh, I made a misplay, but it's okay. I'm still learning too.
See, I don't see anything. So I like how easy it is to zoom in and out this game. It's simple yet complex. I appreciate that.
Some part of me still wishes that there were like DLC things where I could buy like little micro payment things to buy little hats to put on the pawns, so I could keep track of like which pawn was which over the course of a complicated game. It's like little colored beanies on them or something. I know it doesn't matter, but it just my own personal, like when I send the Terminator back to kill John Connor, I want to know.
That's great. Yeah, like different timelines would be different customizations or something. That could be neat. That could be really neat.
And you could track a pawn like as it went through timeline, or any piece really as it went through timelines. Right now we're just playing with the basic set too. Like there are 2 other pieces that are possible in this environment. Um, just call them unicorns and dragons. but it's the logical extension of rooks move in one direction, bishops move in two directions, so unicorns move in three directions, and dragons move in four directions. And that makes it really hard because, like, triagonal movement can't be done if there isn't at least time travel or multiple timelines involved. And quadrigonal movement requires both. So when you start off the game, your dragons are paralyzed. They can't do anything. All right, so one. Okay. I see you caught my misstep.
And it took me a second to see how I could catch that. At first, I was looking at my bishop and I was like, no, that doesn't make sense. Because, like, your knight could kill my bishop if I moved closer. Okay, so to explain,
what has happened here. You see that the two main timelines there are purple, but now there's this one that's white. What that means is that I've created a dead timeline. I don't have enough timeline points, basically, to create one. So that one is inactive, and you're not required to make moves on it until you create a timeline. If you create a timeline, that timeline becomes real.
So if I take a move in that timeline, it becomes real. Or if I created another timeline.
You are not required to take moves in that timeline. It is not considered part of the present, and I mean you can if you want to, but it's checkmates in that timeline don't count. Um, and if you do take a move in that timeline, then I'll have the option to take moves from that timeline back into the main timeline. So it's a wise move to just leave it be.
Yeah, sounds like it. Wait, why did I do that? Well, that was dumb. For some reason, when I played that bishop, I thought I was on the same. That no,
Same board.
that was that was just wrong. Even if it was on the same board. Well, rest in pieces.
The pieces rest in pieces. You still managed to take out a queen, though. So that's
Yes,
a
it's still
pretty
important.
good trade. Yeah, so the way that creating alternate timelines works is you can imagine it as both of us have a token to create a timeline, and every time we spend that token creating a new timeline, we give it to the other player. So right now you have 2 tokens to create timelines if you wanted to go back in time and bring about a board state that previously existed with one of your pieces moved out of this board state. Hey, Enzor! It is pretty tricky. So, the sort of key thing is that time is a dimension. Pieces can move through time. So we have all the previous board states so that we can move our pieces through time. But also they can move between universes. And universes are created when a piece goes back in time, or for in any direction through time, but a piece arrives on a game state in which a move had already been made. Oh, I see. You have shifted the present to a different situation now by creating that. So now that timeline I created back there has become real. Yeah, so whenever a piece arrives at a board state where you have already made a move, it creates a new branch in the timeline. So you get a new universe in the multiverse.
Guys, I'll be back in about a half hour for Stellaris. Gonna walk around for a minute.
Cool.
I don't know what I did, but my brain hurts in like a happy way. Does my audio sound weird today? Oh, it's
Sounds
just
all
me
right to me.
scheduling. So that would be me, Ensor. You see, I play a chaotic chess. I like to think I'm a chaotic neutral chess player. I just make moves as see fit and fix them later.
I'm chasing my tail over here.
That's okay. Keeps you busy.
Okay, so the opening existed back in time. Ah, moves that there. All right, cool. Can I get you?
Do they have a 5D multiverse backgammon? I know Anthro's a big fan. Oh my god, I can play on more than one board.
Yeah, we've caught up.
You have 3 queens on one board, dude.
I do for now. Yeah, so another sort of, I wouldn't call it a tactic, I'd call it a strategy, is to look for opportunities to replicate boards onto the timeline that have multiple high-quality pieces.
Well, okay then. What just happened?
I won. So, this is a complicated win. I think you can undo that and try and find a way around it. I don't think I'm guaranteed winning, because usually if I'm guaranteed to win, then it will completely prevent you from making moves. Do you have an undo button?
I do, but I'm trying to see how that made you win.
Right, so by creating an additional timeline, I now have enough spaces for my queens in the bottom timeline to reach out and touch your king in the top 2 timelines. Also, your queen was in a blocking position that I couldn't move through, so yeah.
Oh, so she's like protecting the king as is right now.
Right. So her in that position means that my pieces can't go through her to hit the king. They have to take her first, at which point the king could then take one of them, unless I happened to have 2 of them lined up to do it simultaneously. At which point one could take the king, and then the king couldn't do anything about it. The same trick can be performed with a queen and a bishop. It doesn't necessarily need two queens. Ah. A 25 backgammon games simultaneously?
Well, shit.
So, do you see the little red exclamation point?
I do.
That means that I have one of your pieces in check. If you click on that exclamation point, it will show you what that move would be that would take that piece. So unless your move resolves that somehow, it's checkmate. But I know it's not checkmate because this game is really smart, and it will stop the game if there's an actual checkmate. Diagonal moves through multiple dimensions are kind of harsh. Now, if there's nothing you can do in the current timeline, it still won't stop the game if you could do something that would save you in a previous timeline.
Can you teleport the king?
Oh, yes.
So you can teleport to have like 5 kings in one board?
You can.
How does that work?
You can even
Like,
evacuate a
from
king
die?
into an invalid timeline, forcing your opponent to replicate timelines to make him vulnerable again.
Say I have 2 kings in one timeline. Would you have to check both kings or just...
Nope. If any king on any timeline is checkmated, you lose.
Gotcha. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, if you had to checkmate all the kings, the game would go forever.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay. I like that being where it is. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, that is just a mess over there. And up here, I need you. Yeah, I need you to get out of the way. Oh, no. Actually, you're in a good spot.
I feel Snooz's pain. Thank you.
Whew. There is, so I was talking about there's a variety of alternative board states to start the game with. And one of them is that we start off in separate dimensions so our kings are not in the same dimension, and we have to attack across the dimensions. We do start off with pawns in both dimensions in that one, but like, yeah, it's an interdimensional war. Yes. Oh, excellent. Excellent. Okay. Whew. Yeah. Oh, what's going on here? Oh. See, this is actually not. This is more like what it's like to be Haley in that storyline. The Traveler doesn't see time as a line or as a branching set of paths, because the Traveler comes from a completely alien reality that doesn't even have time in it. So the Traveler, but the reality he's from, everything is a person. Everything. The thoughts in your head, the air you breathe, the ground under your feet, everything is a person. So the Traveler thinks time is a person. Which is why his behavior makes almost no sense to any of the local creatures in that reality that you guys are adventuring in, is because, yeah. Everyone else is trying to, like, go back in time to make a change so the ripple effects will improve the future, or stop a bad change that'll make something worse happen, or deal with multiple timelines. The Traveler is trying to tie a ribbon around Time's finger because he thinks it's a person and he has some specific ideas about what ribbons can do. That's, yeah. Or you could do what I'm doing, Ensor, which is instead of mastering regular chess and moving up to this, you move up to this so that people who've mastered chess suddenly have no idea. Because I guarantee if Snooze and I were to play just a regular chess game, she would just destroy me. Like, I am not a super well-versed chess person. I haven't memorized openings or any of that stuff. I just generally know what the pieces do. Having that much looser feel, I think, is actually kind of helpful in 5D chess. You're dangerous head jumping? Yeah, you almost got yourself killed in the last roleplay session. Hey, Patty, what's up? All right, Patty and Enzor are visiting us. No pressure. I'm playing 5D chess against Snooze. It's going well. The timeline has branched a bit. Okay. So if that's my target, I want 1, 2. 3 here. That's where I want to get back to. Oh, that's going to be a rough one. All right. I think I can salvage this. I made some pretty bad mistakes here. Just chilling. That's cool. It's a good day to chill, relax. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you did something bad. You did something interesting. She's heading to... So right now in the story, Haley is heading to the portal that originally brought the Mirror Lord into Talus. She's going to get there, 10,000 years after he arrived, but the portal itself touches the Far Realm. So time may not actually matter at that point. And if you're in a situation where time doesn't matter, she's the one you want to kind of have in that situation. Her sight will be better prepared for that. You okay there, Snooze? Still thinking it through? How are you guys doing? How's everybody else doing? Oh, that came through a little fuzzy. Is my audio messing up?
I am back. Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries. Okay, I hear Snooze clearly. For some reason, Debura is fuzzy. Let's see what's going on. I got your volume right. I'm sure we'll have it sorted out in time for Stellaris.
It's probably the fan.
Oh, there you are. Okay, cool.
I just want to state that this game is insane.
No argument from me. Okay, so. Oh, right, okay. This is the board state I'm targeting. So, 1, 2, 3. So there. So I just need to go back to here.
Wow, that's way back.
And now I have 4 queens. Whew. Okay. So will that... okay. Oh, right. Now it's on. Now it's on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, that's a better move.
I hope that my create a board with as many queens as I can strategy ends up paying off. Interesting.
I love how I can just play with it until like the game lets it pass.
Yeah, and it warns you about like what's gonna mess you up.
Made it back with 5 minutes to spare.
We may be starting a little late. I'm sort of involved in this game right now.
No worries. That also gives me time to eat my food.
Well, you escaped my horrible multiple queen checkmate trap.
Yeah, I feel a little too defensive though.
Whew. Oh, the Necro DSC looks awesome. The Mirror Lord. Okay, so the Mirror Lord, obviously his primary power is that he can copy other powers. Coming into Talos, he mostly just has powers from the Far Realm. But of course, the wizards who open the gate immediately attack him, and they're not low tier guys. Oh. What an interesting branch reality you've created. What a fascinating branch reality.
There we go. Stellaris is taking a minute there to get going.
My understanding is that yes, you can still castle. As long as the act of castling would take you out of... Oh, you can't castle in a dimension in which you've already taken your turn, though. So if it comes from another reality, but it's still in the present where you can take a turn, then yes. But if you put somebody in check in the past, such that you're going back in time would create a branch reality in which you've taken their king, they can't castle that because they've already taken a move there. Oh my goodness, it's my turn again. Okay. That's an interesting play.
Everyone hear me okay?
I can
Yep.
now.
Okay.
I did not realize I was unable to hear you before, but now I can hear you.
His mic was muted.
Well, that's because I hadn't turned on push to talk yet. I was playing Jackbox last night with some people, so.
Whew. Whew. I can't see every possible move, but I think I've got you now. In normal chess, I can see about 7 moves ahead. I'm okay with that. In this, I'm like barely hanging on with 1 move ahead.
All worth a try.
Yeah, because it's not the. I mean, I do technically have that king in check, so you have to do something to get him out of check. But I also have a version of him in the past in check.
Yeah, I think that's the part that screwed me over.
And in these situations, often what you would want to try and do is send a piece as far back in time as you can to try to set up a situation so you can take that queen when you bring things back to the present. But we have such a large universe now. There's 7 timelines. I don't know if you're going to be able to do it. Because right now the way the tokens are set, each of us has a token to create a new timeline. You could spend your token, but if it doesn't work out, then I have both tokens, and when we get back to the present, if you haven't defeated that queen, I will have won. So this is the moment where you need to send your Terminator back in time to kill John Connor. Unless I haven't seen every possible situation. There may be a way to take my queen I didn't foresee. Hey Jess, good afternoon. Yeah. Can you imagine if instead of using 2D chess as the model, they actually took the 3D chess game and then put in timelines and multiverse? That would be like, ooh.
Oh my god.
I just want to point out that I had to sacrifice, I think, 3 queens to make this happen. Granted, some of them were like time clone queens, but still.
Yeah, I think I can take the other queen about 1,000,000 times over, but this queen I'm having trouble with.
Well, here's the thing. You can't take it in the past, because that just creates an alternate timeline. What you need to do is you need to create a timeline that gives you the opportunity to be in a position so that when your turn comes up again for what's currently the present, you'll have a piece that can dive across the board and kill my queen. And that's tricky because the board is 7 pieces long and you've got some pieces kind of in the way. Your new timeline is going to create an 8th spot, and I don't think any piece is going to be able to make a triagonal 8-way move.
Not one.
Okay. All right, let's do this.
Wait, I still have 7 more boards to play.
Oh, you don't have to play those. In fact, I suggest just leave those alone because you've moved the
Okay,
present back
okay.
here. So you can just end your turn and wait until those board states are available again. Because if you try and take your turn on that one where I've got you in check, then you're guaranteed to lose.
Not gonna lie, I'm not thinking strategy at all. I'm just dealing with the situations you're putting me in. That's all I'm doing.
That is understandable.
What's the rough schedule for Stellaris today?
As soon as we finish this game, I have her in check. It's just a matter of playing through this timeline to get to checkmate.
Should be anytime now.
We're on a board state right now where she has 2 queens and I have 3 queens because of time travel. And all I have to do is try and play as defensively as I can. I do like that while I'm waiting, I can click on your pieces and see what moves you have available.
Oh yeah, that would be dumb. This board now looks like a game of shoots and ladders.
Oh, I know. Leave a zoomed out version of that. That's that's crazy. Oh, okay. So yeah, Tice answered that question there for you. Basically, we both start off with a token saying we're allowed to create a new timeline. And every time you spin that token to create a new timeline, you give it to the other player. So right now, I have 2 tokens because Snooze has created 1, 2, 3, 4 timelines. I've only created 3. So if Snooze creates an additional timeline, that timeline will not be considered real. Unless I create an additional timeline too, then suddenly everything rewinds and the timeline she made becomes real. I did that to her earlier. I made a trap timeline that wasn't real until she had to rewind, and then it triggered.
And that's the one that actually ended up being where I got caught, actually.
Yeah, the trap worked. I'm sorry, do you get double talk every time I use my push to talk? I didn't mean to do that to you. Fascinating. And that's it. That's checkmate. Congratulations, though. You made it through a pretty incredible set of time traveling. And you found most of my mistakes and punished me hard for it. So that was good.
I'm typically a pretty, like, in-your-face aggressive player, but it's really rough with the timelines. Oh my god.
It is, yeah. I think you are getting the hang of this in a dangerous way. And now you can brag to everyone that you play 5-dimensional chess.
I can officially do that, and I will sound like a genius.
Absolutely. That's how I trick everyone else into thinking I'm smart.
Just play games that make you look smart.
Yeah, that's right. That's why everybody kills me first in Among Us. I guess it kind of backfired, didn't it?
That's okay. You can't win all the games.
True.
That game's also evil. But hey, I hope you enjoy your Stellaris game there. I'll hang out and chat. Got to work on some D&D stuff. So
Awesome. Yeah. So yeah, let's get that rolling.